Hi friends, in the previous session we have discussed about continuity and derivatives. Now we discuss about Cauchy-Riemann equations. That is, we are going to obtain a pair of equation that the first order partial derivatives of the component function u and v of the function fz is equal to uxy plus ivxy. This must satisfy at a point z0 is equal to x0 y0 when the derivative of f exists there. We also show how to write f dash z0 in terms of those partial derivatives. So, first we have Cauchy-Riemann condition theorem. First one, we have necessary part. Suppose fz is equal to uxy plus ivxy and that f dash z exists at a point z0 is equal to x0 plus iy0. Then the first order partial derivatives of the functions u and v must exist at x0 y0 and they must satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equations ux is equal to vy and uy is equal to minus vx. Equation number 2. Also, f dash z0 can be written f dash z0 is equal to f dash z0 is equal to ux x0 y0 plus ivx x0 y0. That is equation number 3. The equations in 2 are called Cauchy-Riemann equations. So, named after the French mathematician A.L. Cauchy, who discovered them, and also in honor of the German mathematician G.F.B. Riemann, who used them in his theory of functions of a complex variable. Equation 3 provides a formula for finding f dash z0 in terms of the partial derivatives. Proof. Suppose that the derivative f dash z0 exists. We write z0 is equal to x0 plus I y0 and delta z is equal to delta x plus I delta y and of course delta w is equal to f of z0 plus delta z minus f of z0, which is equal to ux0 plus delta x y0 plus delta y that is ux0 plus delta x y0 plus delta y minus ux0 y0 plus I into, again we have vx0 plus delta x plus x0 plus delta x comma y0 plus delta y. Here we have y0 plus delta y minus vx0 y0. Here we have the brackets. As the derivative f dash z naught is equal to, we can write f dash z naught is equal to as limit delta z tending to 0, delta z tending to 0, delta w by delta z exists. This exists. We then have f dash z naught is equal to limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0, real part of delta w by delta z, that is we can write f dash of z naught, which is equal to limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0, delta x delta y tending to 0 0, real part of delta w by delta z plus I limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0, imaginary part of delta w by delta z. Here we have imaginary part. This is equation, next equation number is 4. This is, here we have real part, here we have imaginary part. That is, we have a figure, here we have, this is our delta x and of course this is our delta y. Here we have 0 delta y, here we have delta x 0. And of course this is our origin 0 0. Now it is to be noted that expression 4 is valid as delta x delta y tending to 0 0 in any manner that we may choose. In particular, we let delta x delta y tending to 0 0 horizontally through the point delta x 0 as indicated in this figure. This means that delta y is equal to 0 and the quotient delta w by delta z becomes delta w by delta z is equal to u into x 0 plus delta x y 0 minus u x 0 y 0 by delta x. That is, delta w by delta z becomes, which is equal to u x naught plus delta x comma y naught, u x naught plus delta x, here we have plus delta x y naught minus u x naught y naught whole divided by delta x plus I into v of x naught plus delta x y naught minus v of x naught y naught whole divided by delta x. Thus, limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0, we have real part of delta w by delta z is equal to, that is limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0. Here we have delta x and delta y which tend to 0 0. Delta w by delta z becomes, sorry, it is real part of, that is limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0 real part of delta w delta z, which is equal to limit delta x tending to 0, which is equal to limit only delta x tending to 0 u x naught plus delta x y naught u x naught plus delta x y naught minus u x naught y naught by delta x. Here we have delta x tending to 0, which is equal to ux x naught y naught. And again limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0, imaginary part of delta w by delta z becomes limit delta x delta y tending to 0. Next we have imaginary part of delta w by delta z. This becomes limit delta x tending to 0, limit delta x tending to 0. Here we have imaginary part. So, we have v x naught plus delta x y naught minus v x naught y naught by delta x, which is equal to Vx of x naught y naught, where ux of x naught y naught and Vx of x naught y naught denote the first order partial derivative with respect to x of the functions u and v respectively at x naught y naught. Substituting these values in equation number 4, we find that f dash z naught, we can write this f dash z naught is equal to ux x naught y naught plus ivx x naught y naught, equation number 5. Now, we let delta z tend to the origin 0 0 vertically through the points 0 delta y. This means that delta x is equal to 0 and the quotient delta w by delta z becomes that we can write delta w by delta z becomes u x naught y naught plus delta y naught, delta y naught plus delta y minus u x naught y naught whole divided by what we have I delta y plus next term we have plus I into v, next term we have I into v x naught comma y naught plus delta y minus v x naught y naught divided by I delta y. This I can write as which is equal to v x naught y naught plus delta y minus v x naught y naught minus I into u x naught y naught plus delta y minus u x naught y naught by delta y. Thus, limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0, that is limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0, real part of delta w by delta z, which I can write which is equal to limit delta y tending to 0, first term I have v of x naught y naught plus delta y minus v of x naught y naught by delta y. This is equal to what? Vy of x naught y naught. And also limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0, what about imaginary delta w by delta z? That is limit delta x delta y tending to 0 0, imaginary part of delta w by delta z, which I can write as which is equal to minus, here we have negative sign, limit delta y tending to 0, u x naught y naught plus delta y minus u x naught y naught by delta y, which is equal to, which I can write as, which is equal to minus u y of x naught y naught. Hence, it follows from the expression 4 that f dash of z naught is equal to, I can write f dash of z naught, which is equal to v y x naught y naught minus I into u y x naught y naught. Mark it as equation number 6. Here we have negative symbol. As LHS of 5 and 6 are the same, it follows by equating real and imaginary parts that ux x naught y naught is equal to vy x naught y naught. That is ux x naught y naught, which is equal to vy x naught y naught and also uy x naught y naught is equal to minus vx x naught y naught. Mark it as equation number 7. Here completes the proof. Next example, it's verify the Cauchy-Riemann equation for the function fz is equal to z square, and using our formula number 3, we have to find its derivative. The question is fz is equal to z square. If n is a positive integer, we have d by dz of z raised to n is equal to n z raised to n minus 1, that we have already studied. Hence, in particular, the function f defined by fz is equal to z square is differentiable everywhere, and f dash z is equal to 2z. Hence, the theorem is applicable. To verify that the Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied everywhere, we note that fz is equal to z square can be written as, this can be written as x plus iy whole square, which is equal to x square minus y square plus I into 2xy. Here uxy is equal to x square minus y square. This one is uxy and vxy is equal to 2xy. Thus, uxy is equal to, we can write dou u by dou x, dou u by dou x is equal to 2x, and of course vx of xy, that is dou v by dou x, dou v by dou x is equal to 2y, and also uy of xy, that is dou u by dou y, this dou u by dou y, which is equal to minus 2y. And again we have dou v by dou y, that is here dou v by dou y, that is equal to 2x. Hence, we have ux is equal to vy, ux is equal to vy and uy is equal to minus vx. Hence, Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied everywhere. Also, by formula given by 3, at any point z, we can write f dash z f dash is equal to ux xy plus ux xy plus I vx xy which is equal to 2x plus I 2y, taking 2 outside we can write 2 into x plus iy, or you can write this x plus iy, we know it is z. So, it is 2z. Next we have locating points at which f has no derivative. Since the Cauchy-Riemann equations are necessary conditions for the existence of the derivative of a function f at a point z0, they can often be used to locate points at which f does not have a derivative. So, next we have an example to discuss the non-differentiability of the function fz is equal to mod z square at z not equal to 0 using Cauchy-Riemann equations. That is fz is equal to mod z square. Taking z is equal to x plus iy. That is, so we have fz is equal to z is equal to x plus iy, we have fz is equal to what? Mod z square. So, it is mod x plus iy whole square, or you can write this is equal to x square plus y square plus I0. We have uxy is equal to, here our uxy is equal to x square plus y square. So, what about vxy? It is of course 0. So, next we have to find ux, vx, uy and vy. So, ux here is, that is ux means dou u by dou x, which is equal to 2x. Vx is equal to, of course, which is equal to 0. Uy is equal to 2y. And here we have Vy is equal to 0. If the Cauchy-Riemann equations are to be held at a point xy, then we must have ux is equal to Vy. We must have ux is equal to Vy and uy is equal to minus Vx. So that 2x is equal to 0 and 2y is equal to 0, which implies that x is equal to, here we have, which implies x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. Hence, the Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied only at the origin. Consequently, f dash z does not exist at any non-zero point. This theorem 1 does not ensure the existence of f dash 0 for the function in the previous example. To ensure this, we need sufficient theorem. Due to the importance of the examples, we will consider it again. Next is sufficient conditions for differentiability. Satisfaction of the Cauchy-Riemann equations at a point z not equal to x naught y naught is not sufficient to ensure the existence of the derivative of the function fz at that point. But with certain continuity conditions, we have the following useful theorem. That is Cauchy-Riemann condition sufficient part. Let the function fz is equal to uxy plus ivxy be defined throughout some epsilon neighborhood of a point z0, which is equal to x naught plus iy naught, and suppose that first one, the first order partial derivatives of the functions u and v with respect to x and y exist everywhere in that neighborhood. And second one, those partial derivatives are continuous at x naught y naught, and satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equations. Ux is equal to Vy and Uy is equal to minus Vx at x naught y naught. Then f dash z naught exist, f dash z naught exist, and its value is f dash z naught is equal to what we have, ux x naught y naught plus I Vx x naught y naught. So, we will move to the proof. We assume that conditions A and B in this hypothesis are satisfied and write delta z is equal to delta x plus I delta y, where 0 less than mod delta z less than epsilon, and also delta w is equal to f of, that we know, f of z naught plus delta z minus f of z naught. Thus, we have delta w is equal to delta u plus I delta v. This we can mark it as equation number 11, next equation number 11, where delta u is equal to, this delta u is equal to u x naught plus delta x y naught plus delta y minus u x naught y naught. This is our delta u. And of course, delta v is equal to v x naught plus delta x, comma y naught plus delta y minus what, v x naught y naught. Now, in view of the continuity of the first order partial derivatives of u and v at the point x naught y naught, delta u is equal to ux x naught y naught into delta x plus uy x naught y naught into delta y plus epsilon 1 into delta x plus epsilon 2 into delta y, that I can write. That is delta u into ux into x naught y naught into delta x plus uy into x naught y naught into delta y plus epsilon 1 into delta x plus epsilon 2 into delta y. Equation number 12. And we have delta v is equal to, similarly we have delta v is equal to vx into x naught y naught into delta x plus vy into x naught y naught into delta y plus epsilon 3 into delta x plus epsilon 4 into delta y. Mark it as equation number, next equation number 13, where epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon 3 and epsilon 4 tend to 0 as delta x delta y approaches to 0 0 in the delta z plane. Substituting expressions, this 12 and 13 into our previous equation number 11, we obtain delta w is equal to ux x naught y naught delta x plus uy x naught y naught delta y plus epsilon 1 into delta x plus epsilon 2 into delta y. This is our delta u, plus next term we have plus what, I into, next term we have Vx x naught y naught into delta x plus Vy x naught y naught into delta y plus epsilon 3 delta x plus epsilon 4 delta y. This I is common for this one. Mark it as equation number, next equation number we have 14. Assuming that the Cauchy-Riemann equations are established at x naught y naught, we can replace uy x naught y naught by minus Vx x naught y naught and Vy x naught y naught by Ux x naught y naught, equation number 14. And we obtain, by replacing this, we can obtain delta W is equal to Ux x naught y naught into Wx plus, instead of Uy we can write minus Vx. This minus Vx x naught y naught into delta y plus epsilon 1 delta x plus epsilon 2 delta y plus I into Vx x naught y naught into delta x plus, instead of Vy I can replace it as Ux. X naught y naught delta y, the same one, epsilon 3 delta x plus epsilon 4 delta y. Okay. That is, I can write delta W is equal to Ux x naught y naught Ux x naught y naught delta x plus I delta y next one plus I into, I am combining this, plus I into Vx into x naught, Vx of x naught y naught. The remaining term is x naught delta x plus I delta y plus the other terms plus what, we have epsilon 1 plus I epsilon 2 delta x plus here we have epsilon 1 plus epsilon 3 here. For delta x we have epsilon 1 and epsilon 3 plus epsilon 2 plus I epsilon 4 delta y by combining this and this. That is epsilon 2 plus I epsilon 4 delta y. Now dividing throughout by delta set, that is delta x plus I delta y. The above gives delta W by delta z is equal to that is I am going to dividing throughout with a delta set. This equation becomes delta W by delta z. In the LHS we have divided by delta z, which is equal to Ux x naught y naught plus I Vx x naught y naught plus epsilon 1 plus I epsilon 3 epsilon 1 plus I epsilon 3 delta x by delta set plus what remains, the epsilon 2 plus I epsilon 4 into delta y by delta set. Mark it as equation number 15. Now noting that modulus of delta x less than or equal to modulus of, that is modulus of delta x less than or equal to modulus of delta z, and also modulus of delta y, here it is also less than or equal to modulus of delta z. We have mod delta x by delta z less than or equal to 1 and mod delta y by delta z less than or equal to 1. Hence, this modulus of, by using that modulus of epsilon 1 plus I epsilon 3 into delta x by delta z, which is less than or equal to, this is less than or equal to 1. So, I can write this is less than or equal to mod epsilon 1 plus I epsilon 3, which is again less than or equal to mod epsilon 1 plus mod epsilon 3. And similarly, we have this modulus of epsilon 2 plus I epsilon 4 into delta y by delta z. Again we have delta y by delta z is less than or equal to 1. This I can write as this is less than or equal to modulus of epsilon 2 plus I epsilon 4, which is again less than or equal to mod epsilon 2 less than or equal to, sorry, here we have plus mod epsilon 4. So, the last two terms of the right in equation number 15 tends to 0 as the variable delta z is equal to delta x plus I delta y tends to 0. This means that the limit of the left hand side of equation number 15, this limit exists, and that f dash z naught is equal to ux x naught y naught plus I vx x naught y naught. That is, we can write f dash z naught is equal to ux x naught y naught plus iv x naught y naught, ivx x naught y naught. Now, this completes the proof. Next, we have an example. We now examine the differentiability of the function f given by fz is equal to e raised to x cos y plus I sin y. That is, fz is equal to, here it is somewhat different, e raised to x into cos y plus I sin y. Where y is taken in radians and cos y and sin y are evaluated. Here u is equal to e raised to x cos y, v is equal to e raised to x sin y. This is our u and v is equal to what? E raised to x sin y. Then dou u by dou x is equal to e raised to x into cos y itself. Dou u by dou x is equal to, differentiating we have, which is equal to e raised to x into cos y itself. Similarly, dou u by dou y, that is dou u by dou y, here it is e raised to x into cos y. So, dou u by dou y, which is equal to minus e raised to x sin y, minus e raised to x sin y. Now, dou v by dou x is equal to, no change, e raised to x sin y, and dou v by dou y is equal to e raised to x into cos y. Hence, here dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, and dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou v by dou x. And this verifies the Cauchy-Riemann equations. Also, the first order partial derivatives are everywhere continuous and hence all the conditions in theorem are satisfied at all points in the complex plane. Thus, f dash z exists everywhere, and using equation number 16 we can write f dash z is equal to f dash z is equal to ux plus ivx. Which is again I can write which is equal to e raised to x into cos y. That is our ux is e raised to x into cos y plus I into e raised to x into we have vy is equal to e raised to x into sin y, which is equal to we can take e raised to x outside, that is e raised to x into cos y plus I sin y. In this example, we note that f dash z is equal to f z. Here we have f dash z is equal to what? F z itself. Next we examine the differentiability at the origin of the function f given by f z is equal to mod z square. Next example. We have seen in an earlier example that for the given function the Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied only at the origin. Also, the first order partial derivatives are continuous at the origin, and hence all the conditions in the theorem are satisfied at the point 0, 0. Hence, f dash z exists at z is equal to 0. Also, f dash 0 is equal to, we can write f dash 0 is equal to ux, that is at x at the point 0, 0 plus ivx at the point 0, 0, which is equal to what? 0 plus I0. For the function in the previous example, the Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied only at the origin, and hence derivative of the given function does not exist a point other than the origin. So here we discuss Cauchy-Riemann equations in detail, and we have done so many examples. Next, we will discuss about Cauchy-Riemann equations in polar coordinates. Till then, take care.